100 years ago, the dark wizard Hollowell raised an army and tried to conquer the world. He was stopped by an unlikely hero, Sheriff Aesop Stormwood. As Hollowell died, he prophesied that he would be reborn twice more and rise again. Stormwood looked him in the eye and said if Hollowell did, his descendants would strike him down. Sheriff Aesop Stormwood went on to form Stormwood and Associates to make sure they'd be ready for Hollowell's returns, a private detective security and federally licensed magic users agency. 25 years ago, Hollowell returned for the first time, and Stormwood made good on Aesop's promise. But the third coming of Hollowell may not be so far in the future. But the young Raz Stormwood just might know it's coming, and she plans to be ready. Previously on Stormwood and Associates. The newest branch of Stormwood and Associates opened up, led by Raz Stormwood. She's joined by Kel O'Reilly, the elf hacker, and the new hires, Babbitt, a goblin thief, and Bill, a mage. The team's been hired to infiltrate and do a pen test by Prupip Technologies. Prupip Technologies wanted them to see if Stormwood and Associates could get into their secure air-gapped server room. And boy howdy they did, as Kel stayed behind running the command center and Raz Stormwood and Babbitt broke into the server room while Bill provided a distraction in the lobby. Unfortunately, once Raz and Babbitt got to the server room, they discovered that the security they were testing had already been broken, as a young woman was spotted sitting in the middle of the room with her laptop connected to a server it probably shouldn't be. And that's all they saw in the room, because that's how they rolled. Everybody roll initiative. I mean, not Nick, but Raz and Babbitt roll initiative.
Got 2 again. I'm switching die.
All right, so the initiative is your sweetness plus a d10.
Yep, I got 10.
I got 5.
Well, you didn't get the worst one. So, first person acting is the young woman in the hoodie who is trying to make it to a vent behind the servers.
Vent's
that is
thing.
Large and open, and you have no idea how much I laughed when you suggested that earlier. And she's just running for that. You're up, Babbitt.
Okay, I first I pull my train gun and I sprint after her.
All right, so you're gonna try to squeeze between the servers?
Yep.
All right, so right now you make it to about you're between 2 of them. It's really annoying for me that you're a goblin, by the way, because this woman is tiny, but she's 5'2" for 5'4". Yeah. And this is not a space that literally any of the regular characters could have fit through. But no, you did. You had to pick the 4-foot tall goblin to play.
Yep.
So yeah,
he's also quite thin.
I know. Oh, you screwed me up. All right, so you're following in. Out of nowhere, dropping from the ceiling is a between the 2 of you. Between behind the servers already, but between you, Babbitt, and the woman is a large man dressed all in black with a ridiculous samurai sword slung across his back, and shaved head, just drops from the ceiling and goes, "My name is Barrow McCoy, and you're not going anywhere." And he's as close to Jason Statham as we can afford.
All right.
If there's a problem, they can solve it. If you need to find someone, they can do it. Stormwood and Associates is a detective, security, and federally licensed magic users agency. If you need help, they'll be there. But don't get in their way, or else you'll get caught in the eye of the storm. And so Raz, you're up. You can see the people behind the servers, but they have cover.
And I can't fit between them.
You can't fit between the servers. You might be able to climb over the servers with a sweet move, but you are not going to be able to squeeze between them.
And I'd worry about damaging any of the servers, honestly.
Yes, you've been hired to... Yeah.
So I can see them over the servers, correct?
Well, you can see, like, there's not space enough for people between the servers, but you can see clearly through them. Like, it's... Like, so there's probably 6 inches between each server, and then there's a gap between between two of the racks that the girl squeezed through and that Babbitt squeezed through is currently going through. And so you if you took a shot at the girl, you could do that, but she'd get a cover bonus.
Okay.
Same with Barrow. Like, you could get a shot off at Barrow or the girl, but they'd both get cover bonuses.
Okay. I think that's my option, though.
Okay, so you're gonna shoot at one of them? Which one are you gonna shoot at?
The girl.
You're gonna shoot at the girl. Okay, so we need to roll your attack, which is so your attack roll is going to be a D10. Oh yeah, so Raz is clearly the main character, so Raz gets a +1 bonus on her rolls. So that's important.
I forgot that earlier.
Oh, so you really should have had 6 for your initiative. Okay.
Well.
It's okay. That would have moved you not at all.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Actually, that would have put you at the same time as Barrow Mackay, and I think player characters usually, like, that's how we decided would beat non-player characters in initiative, but we're just going with the current order for this combat, so.
Ooh.
And Nick, you're gonna go back out by the Lumina?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Actually, for that matter, I'm still hearing things on the earpiece. What is going on? That sounds bad.
I think they're in a fight.
Like what kind of, like a gunfight?
I don't know.
Like
no one shot anything yet. Something's gone sideways. All right, so back to combat. So you're gonna take a shot. So you need to roll 1d10 plus your effective combat skill. So that's going to be your gun skill plus or minus whatever your class is. So the effective number. So that plus a 1d10 plus your level.
Plus my primary character.
Right. So, yeah. So
13.
roll 13?
Yep.
All right. Let me take a look here. That does not hit.
Wow.
Well, she's behind cover, remember? So she has there's a cover bonus. And also she has a very high sweetness. All right, so Raz's turn she's taken a shot, missed, because again, really high dodge and has cover. So that makes it the other person in the room's turn. A halfling emerges from somewhere. You don't really know where this person was the whole time, but he just sort of he's attempting to leaping punch Raz in the face. So it's gonna be a bare hands attack. So let me roll for that.
Are you guys gonna need ice? I'll get some ice.
All right. 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 4. What's your sweetness plus level?
4.
It doesn't hit.
Cool.
Because he didn't beat it. So he rolled a 2.
He just couldn't reach up to her face.
So this halfling attempts to punch you. Like this halfling in black goes up to, like, just runs at Raz and, like, tries to do this leaping punch, and you just kind of lean back and he goes right by. All right. I love that. All right, so NK is now climbing into the vent, and she's holding her laptop and the flash drive, and just kind of looking straight at you. Babbitt sticks out her tongue and pulls down her eyelid with one of her fingers and falls backward down the vent. So she is not there.
The vent is it like flush with the floor, or
No, it's in the middle of the wall.
middle of the wall? Okay.
It's a large vent that's probably about probably 3 feet wide and about 4 feet tall, and as far as you can tell, it's a vertical vent, and so it just looks like she fell down a vent.
Just fell down a vent. Yep. Okay.
But presumably she had a plan.
Okay. And I've still got a guy between me. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, between you and the vent is Barrow McCoy.
Okay. I want to pull a sweet move and tumble between his legs, and the camera slows down into slow motion as I'm going through his legs, facing upward, and I put one dart up into his crotch and keep on going right through.
So you're gonna run towards the vent?
Yeah.
Yeah, right after doing that. All right, so we have to take the vote. Is he successful? All players have to vote. Nick?
I'm in favor. That's epic.
Gen?
In favor.
I'm in favor too. So we have to roll how much damage you're about to do to Barrow Mackay.
Right.
All right, so it's he doesn't get a soak. So your effective combat statistic, which I guess in this case is melee, because you're stabbing him with a weapon.
Oh no, I just meant like shooting him.
Oh, shoot him with so your gun stats. I mean, yeah. So your effective guns plus your level. Oh wait, let me. I'm having problems reading right now, so let me. Yeah, because if a sweet move injures a non-fodder character conventionally, it does relative effective combat statistic plus level with no soak allowed. Yeah, so there's no D10. It's so you're just gonna do your guns plus your level damage.
Okay.
What's that?
Guns 1.
All right, so you're gonna do 2 damage to him.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right. Sorry, Barrow's not a fodder character.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's Barrow McCoy.
Yeah, he's discount Canadian doing a bad accent. Jason Statham.
Hey, we might be able to afford Vinnie Jones.
Oh.
Yeah, because they got him on Arrow.
He'll do anything.
I know. All right, so this comes to Barrow. So Barrow's going to turn around, and because you're going for the vent, you've made it past him, but Barrow's going to turn around and attempt to hit you with his ridiculous sword. because walking around with a samurai sword is ridiculous. All right, so that's gonna be. I gotta do a roll here. So what's your sweetness plus level?
5.
Yeah, that hits. And so let's see how much he hurts you for. All right, so he's gonna roll a 3, which means he's going to hit you for 5 minus your fitness and level. So what's your fitness plus your level?
3.
So he's gonna hit you for 2. You shot him in the crotch with a tranq gun, and he hit you with a sword for the same amount of damage.
Yep. But I got past him. That was the
That's
crazy
true.
thing.
That's true. And he hit you in the back with a samurai sword. So Raz, you're up. You've got Raz. So what you've seen behind the servers, you've got Goblin Babbitt fighting with Barrow Mackay, and while you're out on the other side of the servers with this halfling dressed in, and I'll describe the halfling as the halfling is like wearing a spandex onesie with a belt and a small satchel.
Is the door to the server room behind me still open?
Yes.
May I drop kick him into the hallway?
Well, if you want to drop, you could do it as a sweet move,
Okay.
and you'd have to give me a good description. So explain to me the process of Raz drop kicking the halfling, whose name is Bort
By the
Gorfunkel.
scruff of his little spandex tunic.
Onesie.
Excuse me, spandex onesie. I want to bring him up to my face so we're eye to eye. And actually, I want to ask him, who do you work for?
Barrow Mackay. That's the guy I work for. He's right over there.
And I punt him
You're gonna punt him. Where are you punting him?
out into the hallway.
Out into the hall. You're gonna. Well, but so you're gonna. So for a sweet move, you're picking him up, ask him who he works for, and punting him into the hallway.
Yeah.
All right. Does that work, guys?
Love it. I'm all about throwing halflings.
Throwing halflings is great. I feel like there could be a better direction. But
Well, I don't want to chuck him into the servers.
No, it's.
I can't really cut him. I can't really try to toss him into Barrow Mackay. Unless I really wanted to try and huck him over the servers.
I mean, on a sweet move, you could do something like that.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh. And I want to try that. I want to try hucking him over the servers and lobbing him at Barrow Mackay.
All right. So what you're gonna try to do? Well, do you want to punt him over the servers or throw him?
I think a nice overhand
It's like a hook
With the-
shot.
yeah.
So your sweet move is gonna be that you're gonna hook shot the you're gonna hook shot the halfling over the servers and try to hit Barrow Mackay with him.
Yep.
Do you guys think that works?
I'm for it.
I'm all for it.
All right, I'm all for that too, and I got to figure out how to roll damage on that. Well, it's gonna be it's mostly so. I think I'm gonna call that a melee attack. No, it's a range attack, so it's your gun stat. Because all range attacks work as gun stats. So it's gonna be what's your gun stat?
Effective 1.
All right, so 1, and so your level is 1, and you're the primary character, so you just did 3 damage to Barrow Mackay.
Sweet.
And I'm gonna say you did 3 damage to the halfling as well.
Yeah, I had to.
I'm trying to figure out, is
What
that...
is going
would that-
on?
But the
Is there
problem... Okay,
this
so...
troll guy?
She threw a hobbit.
Like Bilbo?
Well, she threw a hobbit in
Famous historical character Bilbo.
in a black spandex onesie with a belt and a satchel. But like, and so the black spandex onesie like only goes down to his knees also. So, and
You
yeah,
threw an Aeon Flux hobbit?
yeah. So he's not wearing shoes. He's a hobbit. So so the problem is though now, for Babbitt, is that both Barrow Mackay and the halfling are looking right at you. Like, Barrow's kind of knocked over, but the halfling isn't.
Uh-huh.
And they're behind. They're like, so you're right by the vent, and these two are looking right at you.
Yep.
And so it's up, and obviously the girl is not anywhere you can see because she went down the vent earlier. So it's you. You're in the. It's up to you in the initiative order here.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I jump over into the vent. I hang on, see if to see if there's anything down there.
It's a sheer drop.
Your drop.
It's a 10-story drop. It's so the vent itself is in size is 3 feet by 3 feet.
Okay.
Now, you looking down don't see the girl. You there's enough light so you can see all the way to the bottom, and how far that is. You can tell that there's some light coming in on a lower level vent, where clearly that someone went out. But you are the only one in this vent shaft, and you're hanging on by the top of the vent.
I want to try to start like spidering my way down there.
All right, how tall are you again?
I'm 4 feet tall.
So you've got a wingspan of about 4 feet then. So in theory, you can. What's your fitness?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the least fit of the group.
Well, you're fitter than the person you're following, but she's 5'4". All right, so you're gonna try to start shimmying down the shaft.
Yep.
I'll let you do that. Barrow Mackay is and the halfling are behind the servers. Raz is, and unfortunately for you, you've taken their way out.
Right.
So
wait, Barrow Mackay was going to be going through this?
yes.
Okay. All right.
So the halfling kind of all right, so the halfling's gonna use a sweet move. So you're about like, no wait, the halfling doesn't get to move yet. Halfling doesn't move till after Raz. Never mind. So Barrow Mackay is he's just gonna, he doesn't have anything ranged to attack Raz with. And he's not going down the shaft first, so he's just gonna try to look cool for a minute here because he doesn't have a good move. So Raz, it's up to you. Your thief has now gone into the shaft, and the halfling, and you can't physically get to them. What do you want to do? And remember, you can still shoot at them, but they just get a cover bonus on their dodge.
Yeah. Can I at least, like, relay information?
Absolutely. You're all wearing earpieces.
Yeah. keep everyone.
There's just a lot of loud noises on my end.
So you're gonna tell people that you're gonna tell people that the people are. I don't know what you're gonna tell people.
Their server room's been infiltrated by. I don't know who they are, but they've got a security breach for fucking sure.
Aren't we supposed to be the security breach?
We were. I don't know who these guys are. Unless they...
Oh, Barrow Mackay.
Barrow Mackay, obviously.
Why are there barrels of pie up there? All I hear are loud noises and what sounds like Jason Statham.
Barrow Mackay.
You also hear just grunting as I'm shimmying down this vent.
I'm not even sure what that is.
All right. So, Raz, the only thing you're doing in your turn, telling people what's happening?
Can I also try to shoot at Barrow Mackay?
Yes. Yes, you can shoot at Barrow Mackay.
I'll at least try. I mean, why the hell not?
All right. So, your attack is going to be 1d10 plus your guns plus your level plus 1 because you're the primary.
Yep. That'll be a 7.
That'd be a 7. 7 does... No, 7 does... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong character sheet. Let's look at Barrow Mackay's character sheet. Okay, his sweetness is only a 2, so... 7 barely misses him. Alright. Alright, so we are on to Bort, the halfling. I work for Barrow Mackay! Alright, so Bort the halfling in his spandex onesie, he's going to do a sweet move. And he is going to run at the vent, because again, this is their way out. He's going to run at the vent and cannonball into the vent in the hopes of hitting Babbitt with what will count as a bare hands attack.
All right.
So he goes in a leaping sprint towards the vent as he tucks into a cannonball, perfect swish into the vent, screaming, "I work for Barrow Mackay!" And then he is going to hit you. And so no matter what, because this is a sweet move, you're going to take some damage here.
Yep.
Babbitt. Assuming that... Does everyone agree that worked?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because technically you guys do have to agree to that when the bad guys do it too. Or else you would make me roll for it. That's all that would happen. All right, so he's going to do some damage to you. Let's see here. It's effective combat statistic plus level, and Bort Gorfunkel has a bare hands of 1, so that's going to be a 2. You take 2 damage.
Okay.
From getting hit by Bort Garfunkel. Onesie. All right, so technically, so there's no rule to figure out what's going to happen to you two right now. Because you've just been hit with a halfling. So what's your fitness?
It's 2.
It's 2? All right, so I'm going to go with his fitness of 2. We're going to roll to see whether or not he dislodges you. You've got a 1d10 handy, right?
Yes.
So we're both going to roll a 1d10, and whoever if you roll higher than me, you don't get dislodged, and he just falls past you after hitting you. If you roll lower than me, and I'll give a tie to you because you're the player. So, but if you roll lower than me, you're going to start falling.
Mm-hmm.
I've rolled a 7.
I got a 6.
All right, so you just start you are now going down the shaft.
Yep. Sure I am.
From 10 stories up. I don't have a fall all right, so that was bored. That actually brings it back to you, Babbitt, though. So, if you use a sweet move and call it a good sweet move, I'll get you. You won't take any damage from this set of events. All right. Are you going to try to use a sweet move to get out of this?
I sure am. Yeah, I'm gonna just start hitting my arms out as trying to catch myself, trying to slow my fall as much as I can. Hitting the side of the vent. Legs too, why not?
All right.
Is there a way I could try to meet them at the bottom of this vent?
You don't know where the vent
outside.
goes. You don't know where the vent. You
That's
don't know
true.
where in the. You know that. Okay, so this is going to exit. Like the vent is in the server room, which is in the back of the building, and it's on the same side of the building as the parking garage. But you don't know where. And the characters can communicate that to you, but you don't know.
Side, so it's fine.
But you don't know where they're going to go once they're on the first floor of the building or whatever floor that the open vent is on. All right.
This is true. I'm mostly just trying to find ice.
All right. All right. So, do you want to give me a cool description for how you're stopping yourself? Like, give it to me cinematically.
Yeah. Okay. I start thrusting out my arms, and I catch myself, briefly stopping my fall, but then I, of course, keep falling. I keep doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's part of the halfling's earlier sweep move. He somehow stopped himself and got out the vent down at the bottom, because that was all part of the sweep move that hit you on the way down. All right, so you will obviously, if this is a sweep move, I'm assuming, is everyone okay with this working?
Yeah.
Nick, you okay? All right, I'm okay with it. What I'm gonna do is have you, since you were falling from 10 stories. From a 10-story spot, I'm just going to have you roll a d10 to see how many stories you fall. Like, you slide down. No damage taken, just how many stories you slide down.
8.
8, okay. So you are, so there are 2 more, so yeah. All right. So you're, at, the second floor.
Yeah.
And, you're staring at an open vent.
Oh, okay. So this is where, presumably, she got out.
And you can see the halfling rounding a corner down a hallway.
Okay.
All right, so that is now it's up to Barrow Mackay. Barrow Mackay is also going to do a sweep move to run at the vent. And Barrow Mackay moves like a black liquid. He just flows. You don't know how a man that burly carrying a stupid sword moves that smoothly, but he just runs at the vent, and where the halfling did a cannonball, he just kind of almost swan dives in, and he's going to swan dive into the vent. He is going to, as he falls down the vent, just split his legs apart to slow himself down with his thick-soled rubber boots. Still head first. So as you look up, Babbitt, you do see the shining bald head of Barrow Mackay coming straight towards you, and I'm going to see how many floors it takes him to stop himself. Yeah, I'm going to re-roll that because he would be aiming for earlier than that. All right, so he's going to go 5 stories on that. So he's at about the level 5 when he comes to a stop, and he's looking straight at you, Babbitt.
Uh-huh.
Raz, you're still up in the server room.
Yeah. I'm all by myself now.
Babbitt can tell you where he is.
I'd actually like to look at the server that the girl had hooked into
Okay.
and try to figure out what they were trying to take, what they had taken.
All right. So there is there are two server racks.
Okay.
There are two server racks that again they switch to. One of them is marked production. One of them is marked testing. You know that you were hired to grab a file off the testing server because this is just, the whole test was not for you to actually steal real data, but to steal data off of their fake server that has as much security as their real one. The production server is the one she was plugged into. Like that rack, the production servers are the ones she was plugged into. You just see a USB port. Like you don't know what, like there's no... Like, she had to use a laptop to plug into it to do anything. So you don't know what she was looking at, but you know that whatever she was doing with was, like, actual, like, work stuff and not the fake server you were hired to see if you could access.
Can I still access that fake server?
Yeah, you've got the flash drive.
Sweet. I'm just gonna go ahead and
You're gonna finish your job?
cover our asses a little bit.
I mean, outside of combat, you can do more because you've got your totally investigate skill, but you can't use that in combat.
Okay.
Because a combat round only takes 6 seconds, and totally investigate is a give me 5 minutes, which means you would need to have an uninterrupted 5 minutes to do it.
Okay.
All right, so you plug in the flash drive, and so you're at least gonna finish the job you were hired to do. All right.
Okay. We won. Good job, everyone. Good game.
All right. So that brings us to Bort, and you guys can't see what Bort is doing. That brings us to the girl whose name is NK, who you can't see what she's doing. And so that brings us to Babbitt. Babbitt, you are in the vent shaft.
Yep.
You are in the vent shaft. There is a large Cockney Ninja coming towards you.
Yep.
He's about so he's on the 5th floor. You're on the 2nd floor, so he's not super far away. But also, you know that if you were actually successfully knocked him out, he would fall on you.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Because he's actively holding himself up in the vent shaft with his boots.
Yeah.
Which he's just scissored apart. He's very strong.
Right. But I'm at the proper.
You are at the You are literally staring at an open vent. You saw the halfling run away.
Then I jump through that and sprint after them.
All right. Are you gonna go the direction the halfling did?
Yes.
Okay. So
I have no other real options. So.
You run down the hallway. All right. So no, well, I was just making sure. You run down the hallway and you take a left and you see a door, which leads to. It needs a key card.
I still have that.
You still have that. I know. Well, it doesn't need a key card to get out.
Okay.
It would have needed a key card to get in, but it is a door to a walk bridge over to the parking garage.
Okay.
And you see it in the distance. You see the girl the young woman from before throwing the halfling into a vehicle.
Okay.
Your action was to run there, so you're gonna have to wait till your next turn to do something.
Okay.
All right. I'm just giving you the visual.
Yep.
All right. Barrow Mackay is going to. You guys can't see what he's doing.
Am I allowed to talk?
Yeah, you're allowed to talk.
Okay. I want to. Bill, they're in the parking garage, at level 2.
What? Who are in the parking garage?
Bad guys. I don't know.
What
a
kind
girl
of
and a
bad
hobbit.
guys?
A girl and a hobbit. I don't know. They've got the.
You shouldn't say hobbit. It's really racist. The halfling. Their
and
preferred word is halfling.
Okay. A girl and a halfling. They've got the thing we need. They're
Come
in,
for a goblin.
they're in a car, parking garage, level 2. Okay,
All right, I'm heading up
get
there.
over there.
All right, so, all right. By the way, I'm gonna have Nick. Why don't you roll me a D10 so we know when you're acting on the off chance you actually get there. Roll me a D10 and then add your sweetness.
All right. Roll the 9.
So what's your sweetness?
My sweetness is 3.
All right, so that's a 12. All right, so you're gonna act for Babbitt on the next turn. Because technically you're now in this, even if you are... Because you're in the parking garage, right?
I am.
Do we know
I
what...
have a bag of ice, and I didn't put it down.
All right, I'm going to figure out what level... Since I know what level they're on, but we never established what level you were parked on. So I'm going to roll a die to see what level you're parked on. You are also parked on the second level. Because I decided it was a 3-story parking garage. They're on the second level. You're also on the second level, according to the 1d3 I just rolled. So, all right. That's going to... You don't see them, but you're on the second level also.
Ah!
But does he hear them? Those places echo like a...
Oh, yeah. You probably heard like some thump when the halfling got tossed into a car. All right, so you've got Barrow Mackay is going to continue on his path. That moves us to Raz.
I've got the file we need. Correct?
Yeah.
And I can't get to the vent.
Yeah, but there are... I mean, getting out of the building is way easier than getting into the building.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna, like, head on out. Close the door behind me and...
I really like this idea of Raz just, just casually finishing up the job.
Yeah. Maybe I take the elevator down. Who knows?
You could.
Yeah, but I like this idea, though, of just, like, cutting to, like, the action in the parking garage, and then in the elevator.
Yeah, girl from Ipanema.
Right? And it cuts back to the action. In the...
What are the rules on hide, by the way? Is that a give me 5 minutes?
Hide is a 5 minutes, yes.
All right, so yeah, you don't have time to hide when Barrow Mackay comes barreling through.
No.
Although, to be fair, I think he probably cares more about getting out of there right now than about you. Because that's kind of been their goal.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings us to the halfling, who is going to buckle his seatbelt. They can't go anywhere until Barrow gets there. NK is presumably getting into the vehicle. Oh, that means it needs to roll one more initiative if we're going down where that character is. Okay. I mean, it's just an initiative score. It's not like it's... And he's going to go right after... He's going to go right after Bill. So he's top of the order packing. All right, so that brings... So we went to Raz, we went to the NK, so... Bill? You're up.
Yes.
You've heard a thump on the opposite side of the second level of the garage.
All right. I'm following the thump.
On foot?
Yes.
All right. So at
Because
I will say you can get across this like it to where the thump was in it pretty quickly.
and I'm carrying the bag of ice with me.
Okay, so you're carrying the bag of ice. All right, so you get to the You get to the other side, and you see this black cargo van. Where's a young woman with kind of like shortish red hair with like an undercut, black hoodie, jeans, black sneakers, just probably just yelling at a she's 5'4" and she's yelling at like a 3.5 foot tall halfling in a spandex onesie and a belt and a satchel. And again, these are like it's a onesie, but it's like short sleeved and like down to his knees. So he's it's a summer onesie.
How far away from them am I?
You are right now probably. Well, you just had to like get across so it's one of those center things where your van is closer to the way out than theirs is on the ramp, but there was kind of like a walking bridge between the two halves of the second level. And so you just had to get across that, and you are like, you can see the doorway that at the end of the door, you can see the doorway where like in the hallway you can see Babbitt, and you can see this black cargo van with these scream people, and there's someone else in the cargo van who is behind the wheel.
Oh crap! Okay.
There's a driver. There's a dwarf behind the wheel.
Dwarf drive? Oh, great. Okay.
It's racist. All right. So that's what you find, Bill. Moving on to the driver's not going to do anything because then his initiative comes up. Then we're at Babbitt.
Okay, I keep sprinting after them. How close can I get?
You can get through the door. You can.
Okay, yeah, I keep running after them. I also pull out my my lockpick multi-tool that also has a knife on it.
All right. So you've got a melee weapon out?
Yes.
All right. And so you are through the door, and they all look at you. At a running scream behind you, you just hear this guy, and he's not going to quite make it to where you are, but he's just running, just going, Barrow McCoy! And he's like doing the Tom Cruise run with like the hands in the blade like position where he's just chopping the air. That's how he describes the Tom Cruise run. All right. Raz, what are you doing?
I was taking the elevator down.
Doon, doon, doon. This is going to take you another round at least.
Yeah. So
everyone else went down a vent shaft, so.
And I got tased.
All right, so Raz is on her way down to the lobby. I mean, the good news is you've got a motorcycle down there once you get out the front door.
Yeah.
And it's right near the door.
Yep.
Because you smartly or not smartly parked on the street. I'm gonna be honest. I honestly thought these guys would have gotten away already. I mean, I knew how they were getting out, so I was ready for it, but I thought that was going to have to be a backup plan, not apparently most of this combat. So, all right. So, Barrow Mackay is running down the hall. Raz is in the elevator. Bort, the halfling thief in the spandex onesie, is just going to look really surprised. Because he doesn't have a weapon, so he's been doing everything bare hands. NK, she's the girl. She's gonna jump into the van and slam they're getting into the side door of the cargo van. It's got a big sliding side door, and so she's just jumping in there and slamming the door closed. Now we're at Bill. You just saw these people get in a cargo van who match the descriptions your friend said over the earpiece. Babbitt is running towards you. and they just slammed in the back, and you see Barrow Mackay coming down the hallway screaming his own name right towards you.
Oh, jeez. I'm going to use one of my attacks.
Are you going to use an attack spell?
Yes.
All right. Here's some fun. It's time for you to tell me what your attack spell does.
Taking out that telescopic wand again, I'm pointing it at the front left tire of the van and using what I like to call the psychic flamethrower. It's not particularly psychic, but I do have to concentrate a lot to use it, thus the name. And it shoots a burst of concentrated flame toward the target that I so choose.
Okay. So because this is a ranged attack, it's going to do ranged attack sweet move damage to your target. You're casting it at Barrow, I presume?
I pointed at the tires of the vehicle.
Oh, the tires of the vehicle. Interesting.
Yeah, that has to be because now I don't have to slash the tires, which I was totally going to do.
There are no rules how to handle this because all the damage rules are for people. Okay, so all right. All right, so I just got to come up with a statistic right here. All right, so your normal sweet move mode damage is a ranged attack, so it's going to use your gun stat / range. Technically, in a magic user, it's called a range stat instead of a gun stat because we're fancy.
Really should have put more stats and more.
All right, so what's your guns?
My gun stat is 0.
Your gun stat is 0. Well, okay, so you're going to do that plus your. Well, okay, so the problem is you guys have gone into combat against non-fodder characters. Like, if you were going up against, like, regular cops or security guards or minions or anything like that, you'd get to roll an extra D10 right now. But because you've literally gone directly into combat against your antagonists for this story, you've gone into combat with your antagonists for this story, you're gonna... They can take a lot more, but they don't get a soak, so it does mean... that the car, because you're targeting a vehicle full of main characters, effectively full of major characters, you don't get the D10, and so normally you'd just be doing 1 damage right now, which against a fodder character is like 1/3 of their health, so it's a big deal. But against a regular character, it's 1/10 of their health, because we expect main characters to be able to get like shot in the shoulder and stuff. Where real people that would, destroy. So you would do like 1 damage against this tire. So I'm gonna say we're gonna do you're gonna shoot at the at all the tires or just one of the tires?
I feel I was only concentrating on one tire.
Okay,
because
so
I figure even one they're gonna be.
All right, so roll me a D10. We're gonna see if it worked. We're going to do a dueling D10, and I'm going to have to put this in.
Oh, no.
What'd you roll?
Oh, no. I rolled a 1.
Well, they rolled a 7, so... All right, so it hits the it hits the tire, and I'll say, you know what? I will say it, like, totally obliterates the hubcap. Like, you would be able to now identify this van if you saw it.
That was not as effective as I meant for it to be.
But still useful.
Right. That's so you didn't stop anything, but at least you know if you see this van again, you'll know it's this particular van because that's the one whose hubcap you blew up.
Yep.
All right. So after Bill is the driver, and he is going to put the car into reverse. And he's going to pull it backwards, and he's gonna try to hit Babbitt with the back of his car. He's gonna try to run the back into Babbitt. And that's an attack. It's a melee attack. It's just a melee attack.
This system is crazy.
Well, okay, remember, a car hitting a regular person.
Totally fine.
Remember, regular people only get 3 damage points. You guys get 10. So,
cool. I think of a car as a melee weapon.
a car is considered melee weapon. It's either bare hands, which is your flesh against them. A melee weapon is any physical object you use to hit someone with that's directly connected to, and a ranged weapon, including guns, which is still or the gun stat is for any ranged weapon, either thrown or shot. A slingshot and a machine gun do the same amount of damage, because this is a game about how it looks and how much fun it is, not about caring if they've got an AK-47 or, a peanut and a straw.
No one's arguing. This is great.
All right, so I gotta find the character's melee stat, because I haven't looked at him yet. All right, so, okay, combat. All right, so his sweetness is, so the effective combat stat plus their level plus 1d10. All right, so they're level 1. Their melee is 1, so it's 2 plus whatever I roll. That is a 7. Does that hit you? What's your sweetness plus level?
Sweetness plus level is a 5.
All right, so it does hit you. Let's see how much it hurts you.
Okay.
It's just a regular attack, so you still get your soak.
Yep.
All right, so I rolled a 3 plus 3 plus. So it does 4. What's your fitness plus level?
Plus level is 3.
So you take 1 damage from getting rear-ended by a car. A car, backed into you full force. You got knocked to the side, but you took 1 damage.
Yep.
All right. All right, so, Babbitt, it's you.
Okay, I'm going to try to scramble over to the car and slash its tires.
All right, so I'm going to say you got knocked 10 feet. Okay. Slashing the tires, when's that going to be successful? What's your, I gotta think. All right, so I'm going to say that because there's an operator for the car, technically the car gets the driver's dodge. Because that's probably what we should have gone with to begin with. Well, we're just going to use a sweet move. All right, so yeah, we're going to take the drive. Since the car's no longer a parked car and is now a driving car, it's going to get the driver's dodge. So you're going to melee attack the tire. So roll me a 1d10 plus your effective combat skill plus your level.
Okay. 10.
All right, that hits. Because I can't see any world in which that wouldn't hit. I'm not even doing the math. Yeah, that totally hits now that I've done the math. All right, so we're going to roll whether or not you do damage to the tire. See, the dodge made sense to give to the driver. Now I've got to figure out how the dodge,
Yeah, I can't really see.
Is this armor?
The driver's soak.
Actually, you know what? I am going to say that we're going to start, if we're going to go into... If you guys manage to make chase, I'm gonna have to come up with rules. So I'm gonna go with the driver's soak.
Okay.
Because that's also gonna affect your car if you get into a car chase. Because car chases are combat. So, roll me a 1d10 plus your effective combat skill.
7.
7. All right. And let's see here. Yeah, I gotta say, you pop the tire.
Awesome.
You pop a tire. I mean, they're still going to be able to drive off, but they're going to be at a disadvantage. All right. All right. That brings us from Babbitt to Barrow Mackay. Barrow Mackay is going to run straight at the car and get into the passenger seat. That brings us to him. Raz, I'll say you get to the lobby.
Cool.
It's a fast elevator. Only took you like 12 seconds.
Yeah. Crazy fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, then.
And I assume that, like, you're, like, Babbitt, have you guys been telling her what's going on this whole time?
I mean, I don't think so. I've been focusing on this. And
Hey, boss!
She has certainly not told us
All
that
right.
she has finished up the...
Boss, I don't know what's happening, but stuff is happening, and I am just in the office here. I don't know.
I hit a van with a fire spell.
I got the file. I'm headed to my bike.
Wait, you got what? You got the file?
Yeah.
I don't think that they're gonna, like, pay us if someone else stole real things while we were doing this. We're gonna get blamed for it if we don't, like, tell them. I mean, if we tell them,
The bad guys
if we
are still
catch 'em-
down here. I shot their car.
all right. So Raz, you're in the lobby. What you gonna do?
I don't know.
You're gonna run for your bike. You're gonna talk to security. You're gonna. You gonna try to stop these guys? You've got choices.
I know.
Not
it's
particularly
just-
good ones, but they exist.
Yeah.
I'm Trey Dorn, and I was your game master this session. Our players were Gen Proc as Raz Stormwood, Kyle Johnson as Babbitt, and Nick Izumi as Bill. I also obviously played Cal. Stormwood and Associates is a production of Nerd and Tie. You can find more information at nerdandtie.com, along with our social media is at Twitter, Nerd and Tie, Tumblr, Nerd and Tie, Facebook / Nerd and Tie. And remember, you can subscribe to this with any place that has podcasts. Probably will be on iTunes by the time it's releases. Maybe, who knows? But the RSS feed's always out there, and to be continued.